talking this month about if I were a facilitator of a strategic plan or a strategy plan for the US government, what are some of the things that I would include or want to look at? The second piece to that is definitely going to be succession planning and diversity and representation. So succession planning in business is important because it helps businesses really build and develop future leaders. It helps for planning and passing that baton, so to speak, to those that have been developed in the organization. And it's transferring that institutional knowledge to that next generation, so to speak. Now, I'm not talking about let's keep the same people in the same roles all of the time. We're definitely not talking about that. But planning on something to be able to pass on to future generations. So storing that institutional knowledge, sharing that institutional knowledge with others. So one of the ways that I would do this is actually to impose term limits. And I know this is something that's talked about a lot. And interestingly enough, I did a little bit of research about this, and this was a discussion. This was actually something that was discussed at the inception of the US Constitution, ironically. And at the time, our founding fathers who were developing the Constitution had this discussion, or I'm assuming it was a discussion of sorts. I personally was not there. They rejected the idea of term limits because they were under the impression that the longer somebody served, the more experienced they would become, which is definitely true. But also at the time, people only lived until they were about 40. So times have changed, social norms have changed. So currently, we have a lot of people in these leadership positions, including some of our very, very top leaders, who might be better off transitioning gracefully into retirement and passing on that legacy to others. So we suffer from really this development of future people, or getting future leaders excited about leading in our government, at least at the national level. And I even see it at the local and state level too. And so how do we get people excited about leading? And maybe that's restructuring the internship programs that are offered at the national level. And I believe even at some state and local levels, there's internship programs too, but offering mentoring, getting individuals excited about serving and really sharing that institutional knowledge with others and not being afraid to allow that leadership to change hands. And the other thing that was really interesting is I do believe that we need more diversity within our congressional representation. Our organization needs more diversity. So for the first time, we do have Gen Z represented at the national level, which is really neat. And a quarter, so 25% of our organization's representatives, or our congressional representatives, are of non-white representation. But we still have a long way to go. We have a lot of more women that are serving different ethnic backgrounds. Are we really representing the people of our organization, the employees of our organization, and really representing that voice? And so I feel like there's quite a bit of a gap or a disconnect between the ways that our stakeholders in our organization or our congressional team, the way that they live, work, and play, and the way that our employees live, work, and play. And so I think by diversifying and having not only people of different ethnic backgrounds, but are we looking at socioeconomic backgrounds? Are we looking at different cultures? Are we looking at those different things to really cut into a segment of the representation that we need within our whole organization? And I'm using the term organization because I really feel like there's a lot of parallels between our government, how organizations are run or should be run. So really, succession and diversity, I think, give us a wider lens to look through, therefore gives us more opportunity. So I'd love to hear what you think. Share your thoughts in the comments. You can follow us at kellytinen.com on our website or on social media. Don't forget to give this video a like if you like our content, and share it with others. We'll talk to you soon.